Hello everyone. Today we're going to learn about a database called Web of Science Core Collection. To get there, you will have to go to the library homepage and then click on Research Databases. In the alphabetical list of databases, if you click on W, you will be able to see Web of Science Core Collection listed second. Once you click on it, the database interface will open. Now this is a special database because it offers you the possibility of seeing the results in the order of the times individual items were cited by others. This is called a citation analysis. And in this respect, Web of Science is different from most of the other databases we offer access to. In addition to that, one thing you need to be aware of is that Web of Science is not a full-text database, but an index to literature in a variety of fields, including chemistry. So you will get your results listed, and while most of them will link to full text, some of them might not. So once you're here, you can choose if you want to do a simple keyword search or if you want to add rows and combine words using this Boolean terms and or not. For our demonstration today, I will use a search phrase, which is chemical compounds as a phrase and not as two separate keywords, which is why I put the phrase chemical compounds in quotation marks. Once I'm searching for results, I get a number of over 16,000 results, and as you can see just to the first look, some of these, wherever you have an empty link here, that means that you will not be able to get the full text. Wherever you have a text that says free full text from publisher or full text at publisher or view full text, that means that thanks to OhioLink, we were able to create kind of a backdoor to other databases that offer full text to that particular article. So just so you know before you move on with your searches. A couple of other things. Most of the results here come from peer-reviewed scholarly journals, and normally the order in which they're listed here is the order of relevance. I will talk shortly about the way in which you can change this. Also, a couple of other things that you can look at is the filters. What are the filters that you can use when you're looking at your results? You have a large number of results, over 16,000. There are ways to narrow down by year here. If you do not care so much about the year, but you do want to see, for instance, articles, review articles, preceding papers. The difference here is a review article is mostly a review of other literature. A preceding paper is a paper published in the proceedings of a conference. You can also choose some of these citation topics, and you can choose protein structure, herbicides. Yeah, this is a more if you want, focused way of looking at the topics. You can also narrow your results by languages, by country, region. You can also look at the research areas. The research areas, you can even expand this menu by clicking See All. You see, so everything that has to do with my keyword search, which is in this case the phrase chemical compounds, falls into all these fields. And you can see, for instance, for arts and humanities, there are just 7 results, obviously. But for chemistry, there are over almost 4,000 results. It makes sense. Now, from here, you have the option to either refine to specific areas or to exclude some areas. In that case, you would click what you don't want here. So, while not spending too much time here going through every single box, I just chose a couple of them, let's say chemistry and biochemistry, and I'm refining my results to that. See, the number of results has gone down. Also, another way that you can jump directly to is highly cited papers. Those are papers that have a high citation impact, so papers that have been cited a lot. You can also look at review articles, articles that review literature that are not necessarily original research. Or there's another option that appeared on the previous screen, which is hot articles. Hot articles, which do not appear here, are those usually that have regular citations in other publications. So they're considered in demand. So this is why they are marked with the label hot articles. But it is not the case here. Now, these are the quick ways of jumping directly to select numbers of results. There's another way to move on from a list of results based on relevance to date, where you would see the newest and displayed first, or reverse chronological order, going first to the well, actually into the actual chronological order. You see the oldest first. But then if you look further down, you see some other criteria here. One which might be highly interesting is citations highest first. So if you click citations highest first, what you will see here is the articles that have gotten the highest numbers of citations. Several things to be aware of. Of course, older articles have had more of a time to make an impact in the field than articles published more recently, which is why usually articles published before 10 years ago or so are those that fall into this category. There's also a big disparity between the numbers here. There are big jumps from 7,000 to almost double that, 15,000, 3,000, and then as you go down the list you go more into the 1,000 range, and here the numbers become more consistent. Web of Science does a pretty good job at making sure the citations are not, the numbers are not somehow falsified by duplication or by circular citation, where an author, it's considered an unethical practice for an author to cite oneself multiple times so that there is an increased number of citations. Web of Science does a pretty good job of trying to keep track of this, and in general I would say while there might still be some slips here and there, these numbers are not too distorted, and you could take them you could take them as they are. Always be aware of the fact that having a high citation number for different areas, different disciplines might mean different things. For a lot of papers published in the sciences, it's usually a positive thing. As you're moving away from the sciences to social sciences, humanities, you might get high numbers of citations, but being cited for different reasons. Sometimes somebody could be cited as an example of blatant error. Keep this in mind. So usually these numbers, the high numbers up at the top, show how many other people have cited the article. The low number of references shows how many references the article that you're looking at has, or how many other sources itself has cited. Now, as you're browsing through this list, you can play with it and further narrow down what you want to look at. But I think that this is the gist of the database presented to you in a quick and dirty 5-minute video tutorial, knowing how to switch here from the order of relevance to the order of citation highest, then being able to click on the citation and seeing all the sources that cite that paper. You can follow the citation trail. Citation trail is another important element in doing research because you're able to follow the trail of the information, seeing where sources originate, who cites who, how many times, and this gives you usually a better grasp on the importance of some scholarship compared to other forms of scholarship.